Hi there! Guten Tag and welcome to my review of NXT TakeOver Dallas. Now I'm really excited to talk about this one because for the first time ever I get to talk about good wrestling for once. What a relief. But before we start, obviously I'm still at my parents' house and there's no professional lighting, etc. pp. I'm sorry for that, but let's get going! So first off we got The Revival versus American Alpha for the NXT Tag Team Championship. What a great way to start off the show because that match was amazing. I loved it, especially since, both teams, The Revival and American Alpha, showed a lot of great team moments. They had really strong teamwork and that's the one thing I want to see in a tag team match. And like I said, there were a lot of great moments, for example, a double DDT and, the whole trickery of The Revival is one of their strong suits and it was really strong in this match. But in the end, nonetheless, American Alpha came out on top. They won the NXT Tag Team Gold and they are going to be really great champions. I love them and I can't wait to see more of them. And the only real criticism I have of this match is that it could have been longer, but I guess that's a good sign because, it only tells you that I really liked it and I wanted to see more of it. Next up, the debut of Austin Aries against Baron Corbin. Now this matchup, it might be the worst match on the card. It was alright, but it wasn't great because, Baron Corbin is a big guy and he wrestles like a big guy and therefore the match was relatively slow and especially, following up a really fast-paced tag team match, it just didn't feel that great and the finish wasn't great either because, Austin Aries countered the End of Days and it was pretty much a roll-up victory. So we didn't get to see a finisher from Austin Aries. Yeah, if I would have to guess, I would say that they are going to face each other again and therefore they just held back a little bit. So in the end, it wasn't a great match. It wasn't a great debut for Austin Aries, but it was alright. It just was alright. Okay, next up, Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I took notes during every match, except this one, because I just was too busy being amazed. Holy fucking shit. That was easily the best match of the year so far. Wow. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't feel like I could do it any justice. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was amazing. Shinsuke Nakamura, everybody was hot for him when he came out there. The crowd went nuts. The crowd went nuts for the whole match because the whole match was amazing from start to finish. And yeah, if you haven't seen Shinsuke Nakamura, if you haven't heard of the guy, after seeing him for the first time, you have to be a fan of him. If you're not a fan of him after seeing this match, there's something wrong with you. There has to be something wrong with you because he is... Oh god, he's so fucking great. I love him. He's one of the best there is and that match was amazing. And it wasn't amazing only thanks to Shinsuke Nakamura, obviously. Sami Zayn is also fucking great and he was really, really strong in this match and yeah, it was really great. And the way that the crowd, said goodbye to Sami Zayn in the end because that was probably his last match on NXT. He will probably stick to the main roster from now on and, maybe he will become Intercontinental Champion this Sunday. So, yeah. It was a great farewell to Sami Zayn and it was a fucking strong debut for Shinsuke Nakamura. 5 stars. That was just great. That's after seeing so many bad episodes of Raw and having to talk about them and all of that. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm a wrestling fan. Thank you for that. That was fucking amazing. okay, how can you follow up a match like this? Well, with women's wrestling, of course. Now, normally everybody would laugh and say, ha ha ha, very funny. But on NXT, that's not funny because it is the truth. Because on NXT, women's wrestling is just as over as men's wrestling is. And, especially Bayley is over as fuck. And I mean that quite literally because, Bayley is just as over as sex is. Oh God, let me rephrase that. Bayley is just as over as ice cream. Yeah, Bayley is just as over as ice cream. Because, everybody loves ice cream and everybody loves Bayley. Forget that I have ever compared her to anything else than ice cream, please. Okay, so the match was great because, she was facing Asuka. So what do I have to say about that one? Both of them are awesome. The match was just amazing. It was really great, especially from a technical point of view. And, it's just one other example why women's wrestling on NXT is so good and why everybody is, in love with it. And I just hope that the women at WrestleMania, so, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky will just get enough time to steal the show because they certainly can, especially with a card that is as weak as the one we'll get as WrestleMania. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to see Bayley on Monday night because she lost her championship. So maybe she will step up to the main roster. So maybe we'll see all 4 horsewomen in the same ring on Monday night. That would be amazing. But I think that Bayley is going to stick around on NXT a little bit longer because, other than her, there's just nobody who is capable of stepping up to Asuka and make me believe that she has a chance of not getting killed. Because Asuka is a fucking badass and yeah, she's going to be a great champion as well. So yeah, amazing match. I can't wait to see Asuka as champ. And I'm really looking forward to Monday night. Maybe we get to see Bayley. That would be great. And the crowd would react strongly to that. You can bet on that. Because, like I said, Bayley is over as ice cream. Now, last but most certainly not least, we got the main event, which was Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. You're lucky my lips stopped bleeding, by the way, because otherwise I would have had to stop this video every 2 seconds to stop the bleeding. Because, bitch, this video is fucking PG. God damn it. Yeah, you know where I'm getting at. Samoa Joe was cut open quite early on the match, and therefore, since WWE is PG now, they had to stop the match every 2 minutes for a while, a couple of times, to stop the bleeding. And a lot of people were really bothered by that, and the crowd was going nuts over it. There were chants like "fuck PG" and "let them bleed." But I personally wasn't really bothered by it. In fact, I would even say that the way it actually worked quite well for the match. And I'm not only talking about the fact that Samoa Joe with blood on his face is a frightening sight to see. I'm also talking about the breakups because Samoa Joe was always on top when they pulled him back to stop the bleeding, and then he came back in the matchup and he still was on top, even though Finn Balor had obviously time to recover. And I felt like that was actually quite a good way to make Samoa Joe look strong. And at one moment I really thought that Samoa Joe had Finn Balor beat. Maybe just because I kind of thought that Finn would lose because he would move up to the main roster. But now that Finn retained the championship and Samoa Joe lost once again, I feel like it's going to be the other way around. So, Finn Balor is going to stick to NXT for a while longer, and I feel like they rather sooner than later will debut the Balor Club, maybe even against Shinsuke Nakamura, because, Shinsuke Nakamura is probably the guy who is going to challenge Finn Balor next, because, look at the match he had. He just has to be in the main event. And, it would make sense to debut the Balor Club against him, because, the Bullet Club is the stable that Finn Balor, funded in New Japan, was a stable of non-Japanese wrestlers pretty much against Japanese wrestlers. So it would make sense to bring up the Balor Club against Shinsuke Nakamura, who is Japanese, if you haven't heard that before, if you couldn't guess that by the name. And I don't think that Samoa Joe is going to stick around to challenge Finn for a third time. And since he has done everything he could do on NXT, besides winning the championship, I think he will step up quite soon. Now, anyway, NXT TakeOver Dallas was fucking great. And WrestleMania, obviously WrestleMania will be a grander stage, and, everything will probably feel a little bit more epic, especially, Shane with his Undertaker. And, maybe they will surprise us in the main event. Maybe. Please do it. So, yeah, I wouldn't say that, it's a tough one for WrestleMania to beat, because, in all honesty, WrestleMania is WrestleMania. But from a just wrestling point of view, it really is. It really is a tough one to beat for WrestleMania, especially the match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. That was just so goddamn great that I don't think there will be a single match that can top it at WrestleMania. Look at the card. There isn't one match where I feel like it has potential to top this. It could be the match of the year, it is so far, and it could very well be the match of the year. So yeah, NXT TakeOver Dallas gets 4 out of 5 stars. I was, leaning towards giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I don't really want to give out half-star ratings, so it's just 4 stars. I didn't quite, I don't want to give out 5 stars so easily, especially, since, I don't think that Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries was all that great, but it was close. It really was goddamn close. So, if you haven't already, go and fucking watch the show, especially a certain matchup, and watch NXT every week, because, NXT is awesome. You have to watch it if you are not watching it already. It's amazing. I love NXT. And with that being said, I'm off to watch the certain matchup I talked about quite a bit today one more time. In fact, I just want to frame it and hang it on the wall so I can see it anytime, always, every day. And with that being said, just subscribe to the channel if you want to see more wrestling stuff. And for the last time, I'm going to link you my video where I talk about a way that WWE might, but probably won't, save the main event of WrestleMania. And you can also check out my last Raw review here if you want to see me about wrestling that is not as good as the one we got to see at NXT TakeOver Dallas. I'm sorry. And you can also follow me on Twitter at IamDemonKid. So, yeah, I'm off watching a certain match. Bye. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot. Obviously, I want to know what you have to say, so please write me a comment and tell me what did you think of NXT TakeOver Dallas, and what did you think of, Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, with that being said, bye, auf Wiedersehen, see you soon. In fact, see you on Monday when I will review WrestleMania. Let's hope Let's just hope it's going to be good. Okay? It has to be good. Bye.